Welcome back to week 3 of the weekly, that's why it's weekly, Raiderland Roundtable. I'm Ryan Hyatt. You guys know Travis Cram, David Collier from KMAX Red Raider Nation, Clint Stevenson, poet, philosopher, warrior as well, and Scott Fitzgerald here today. Talk a little Texas Tech, Louisiana Tech, other Big 12 news and notes, and anything else that kind of comes across our mind. We're going to start it off with this Tech-La Tech matchup coming up Saturday night. You posed a great question. I'm going to let you lead off with this. Is this game bigger and more important than the Arizona State game?
From an image perspective, yes. From a mentality perspective, yes, because you're about to go into conference play. This is your last tune-up before the gauntlet of the Big 12 conference starts. And I think you can save a little face if you go out and beat a good La Tech team handily. You can kind of write Arizona State off as a debacle in the desert. And
but if you look bad against, it's one thing to look bad against a Pac-12 team.
Yes.
It's another thing to look bad against a Louisiana Tech. No offense to Louisiana Tech.
Which you could do.
So now if that happens, Clint, does the world stop? Does Twitter blow up? Or is it just the growth process of this team that at times maybe this team this year is just going to look bad?
Well, I think we're going to struggle at times, but the thing about it is, you would know this being a lifelong Red Raider fan, whether we win or lose, people are going to crap about something.
True.
And so I think the key to this, does Waterboy still play for Louisiana Tech? Is he still on the team?
He's still there.
Is he? Okay. Well,
he's
as long
54 years old now.
If we can handle him, we're going to be all right. But, no, I would agree with Scott. I think it's important for our mentality, for how we feel about our team, and everything else.
I think for the fans too. I think there's an element of this for the fans that they want to walk out of Jones Stadium feeling like just what you said, that it was a one-off deal last week out there in the desert, and now things are moving back where it should be. You're scoring 50-something, 60 points a game. You're holding them below 70, and you're winning a football game doing that. All right, we're swinging around the table, and we'll get you guys' thoughts. You know, we were talking earlier too about this matchup from an X's and O's standpoint, from a pace standpoint. If you're La Tech, do you do what you do, or do you look at what Arizona State did and run the football or try to shorten the game that way? What do you do if you're Louisiana Tech and Skip Holtz?
Yeah, I think, Skip Holtz looked like he had a good game plan last time against South Carolina State. Granted, that wasn't Arkansas like they saw the first time, but they got their quarterback in that they wanted to have in the first game. We won't argue why he wasn't there the first time, but they threw the ball well. They ran for over 200 yards. They ran like 70 or 80 plays, and still threw the ball for over 400. So they can do it both ways, and they did it without too many mistakes. I think they've only got like 7 or 8 penalties total on the entire season. So, but the thing they'll have to avoid is not shooting themselves in the foot and having 4 turnovers. You can get away with that against South Carolina State, but even a team like Tech from a talent level, you just can't do that.
Well, in that South Carolina State game as well, there was like a 4-hour rain delay, so I'm sure weather was part of the issues for some of those turnovers. I think this is a situation more than anything. If you're a Red Raider fan, you're kind of hoping you're going against a Louisiana Tech team that maybe doesn't have an experienced coach.
Right.
Maybe the coaching advantage goes to Skip Holtz in this because he has so much more experience and he knows how to attack different ways, like Travis said. I mean, they have 2 quarterbacks that have started in 2 separate games here, so they have 2 options at quarterbacks. If one's not working, they can go to the other one. Now, granted, I don't think he's necessarily a run-style quarterback that you could see like a Wildcat-type option using him, because I think he ran for 30 yards on 9 carries in that first game against Arkansas, but they have options to do that, and I would certainly guess that Skip Holtz would take advantage of that if that were the case. All
right, we'll keep swinging around. And I want to focus a little bit on the Texas Tech offense. They, again, put up great numbers. Mahomes did what Mahomes had to do in that game. I'll give you a couple of numbers here. 3.3 and 3.9. The 3.3 is the yards per carry average right now for Stockton. 3.9 is what the Tech rushing attack is averaging per carry. It's easy to say when you're putting up points like that the run game doesn't matter. But right now, I'll let you guys talk about this. Is Tech not running effectively because they can't, or they just haven't decided to? Which one is it?
I don't think they've decided to. I mean, that was the thing. I think we were all screaming. The second Stockton touches the ball, he changes the entire game. You only ran it 5 times with him. The first time against Stephen F. Austin, and then the second he starts getting that offense going, you go right back to the pass. Now, understandable, that's your bread and butter of the offense, but I think you have to start working in more running plays. I know it's a philosophy thing with Cliff, and he's going to rely on those short yardage passes and screens, but even then, use him more out of the backfield. Don't switch too much back and forth between him and White and some of the others. I think Stockton, to me, is probably the most valuable athlete on this offense outside of Mahomes.
Wow.
And I think you have to keep running the ball more to get more out of it.
What do you think?
Well, I think maybe he's miscast in the whole thing. I don't think he's the
Okay.
guy that you run up the middle. He's a guy. I mean, the perfect example is they threw a ball
The swing
out in
pass
open
and get it.
space
Yeah.
and did it that way. So I don't see that changing against this Louisiana Tech team because Arkansas didn't really run the ball that well. Now it's proven that Arkansas maybe can't run the ball as well as they have in years past. But if Arkansas can't run the ball against this Louisiana Tech team, I don't see Cliff changing his offense to see if he can run the ball against them.
All right, guys. So, is it overblown?
No.
Tech trying to run the ball, not
No.
trying to, is this something we need to pay attention to?
I think it is something we need to pay attention to for two reasons. Number one, you've got two freshmen at tackle, and they haven't shown that they can be those dominant run blockers. The other thing I noticed in the late third and early fourth quarter against Arizona State, when you were trying to fight your way back into a game, Arizona State was dropping 8. They had a 3-man line. That's all they were bringing. Mahomes didn't check into any runs from my memory. And to me, one of the caveats of that offense is take what the defense gives you. They were giving you a running play and a gashing running play, and you either saw it and chose not to do it, or you can't run the football. You're going to have to throw the ball, and that, frankly, is a little scary.
It's a hard way to live, even in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Now, people don't really know this about you. You simulate every Texas Tech football game with your electric football set.
Yes.
And when you do that, do you run the ball more, or have you figured out how to flick and pass?
No, we run every play. We run, it doesn't matter. It's 3 yards of cloud of dust right there every time, man.
If it works there, it should work,
As
yeah.
a matter of fact. But what I do is I don't put the defense on the field. I just let them just hook them down the field.
Some would say Tech tried that a few times last week. All right, what do you guys think? The run game overblown or not? Also, how big a game is this from a Tech psyche standpoint? You can tell us in the comment section below. Be sure and follow us all on Twitter. Be sure and follow the Raiderland on Twitter as well. I want to thank our friends here at Buffalo Wild Wings for letting us hang out again. Also, some of our great corporate partners here at the Raiderland. If you're getting hungry and you can't get out and you need pizza brought to your house, there's this thing called Domino's.com. And they'll bring it to you, and it's cooked, and it's damn good. Domino's.com.